Jury wants to know why he did it. That's how it goes in big homicide trials, and that's what Alex Murdaugh is in the middle of. He is accused of shooting to death his wife and son. Why? Why would someone kill their own kid, their wife? To deflect attention from his massive financial crimes? To buy himself time? That's part of what the prosecution was trying to sell today. We heard testimony from his law firm that he was confronted the morning before his family was murdered about somewhere close to $800,000 in money they believed he embezzled. Is that motive for murder? Should the jury get to hear that? Will the judge allow it? And if so, how much? Could that determination be the difference in a conviction or an acquittal? Let's bring in criminal trial attorney Sara Azari and attorney Eric Bland, who represents Gloria Satterfield's sons. Remember, Gloria Satterfield, longtime housekeeper, extended family, basically, to the Murdochs, died under somewhat mysterious circumstances, and then there was drama about the insurance money where Murdoch tried to play the family, allegedly. Now, Bland may wind up testifying if the judge rules this kinds of evidence should come in. So, with that disclaimer, Counselor Bland, why do you believe this should come in? Highly prejudicial.
It could be prejudicial, but is it probative, and will it lead to the jury determining what the motive was for the killing? You're correct that it's not a requirement, but the jury's going to want to know. Chris, the past 2 days should be titled "The Emperor Has No Clothes." The judge and his family saw that he's a serial penslinger thief, okay? Plain and simple. Yesterday, he was kneecapped by Paul's best friend. Today, he was kneecapped by his best friend. The judge is going to make a determination tomorrow. I believe he's going to let in the financial pressures that were surrounding that June 7th time period. The question is going to be whether he's going to let it go retroactive back to all of the different crimes that he committed. But what this judge heard today, Chris, is that he stole at least $4 million, irrespective of the $4.3 million that he stole from the Satterfields. Now, whether that's motive enough, I don't know. But that's serious, serious thievery.
All right, well, Sara Azari agrees with you about the emperor having no clothes. She just picks a different emperor. She says that the prosecution has no clothes if they think you're going to get this kind of stuff in to a murder trial. Explain why, Sara.
Yeah, because look, it's a two-pronged test. It's got to be relevant. You're looking at embezzlement, white-collar type of conduct, and then you have the murder trial. And so we heard from different witnesses, and to the extent that the law firm had confronted him, that was thwarted by a call that he got that his father was ill in the hospital. And so there was really no need to put himself in the middle of you got to think about this. He's putting himself in the middle of a murder investigation, not as a victim like the botched suicide, but as the murder suspect. That's what's so insane about this motive, and it's such an incredibly hard sell to the jury. But, I think some of this might come in, not all of it.
Like what?
Well, I think the Chris Wilson, for example, his best friend from law school that he also owes money to, that he confessed to about stealing from a variety of people, and then that same day that he was under a tremendous amount of stress, it was that botched suicide later in that day. So that's very similar, essentially, to what the prosecution's saying. And I think you and I had this conversation several weeks ago that it seems like every time there's financial pressure, he's picking up the gun and making himself a victim. But there's a difference, because here it's not about self-victimization. He's putting himself in the middle of a murder investigation.
Mm. And that he didn't. Here's the part I don't get, Counselor Bland. It's as weird as it is, as wild, as desperate as it is to try to get your cousin to shoot you in the head and kill you so insurance money can go to someone you care about. How did he stand to gain by killing his wife and his son, so that even if they were to get all this stuff in, why would a jury believe, okay, so he's a dirty drug addict, desperate, thieving, but why would that mean he'd kill his wife and son?
Because he's a 90-10 guy, Chris. 90% of the time, he's a decent father, a decent husband. But the 10% of the time, he's a sociopath. And you're trying to put reason to a guy that's thinking irrationally. There was much more pressure on there and him than what Sara just said. He had the pressure that he was going to turn over his finances in the Mallory Beach case. Mark Tinsley, that attorney, is a terrorist. You put him in your house, he'll blow it up. Alex knew that because he's done a lot of cases with him. So there was a tremendous amount of pressure. The roadside suicide, that wasn't a suicide. That was a fake shooting so that it could divert attention away from law enforcement on him, that there was actually people out there that he was trying to say were trying to kill his family. You're trying to put rationalization on a sociopath. That's a 90-10 guy.
Hey, thank you for watching. Please go to newsnationnow.com, newsnationnow.com, and you can find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button down below. Then you will get more of NewsNation's fact-driven coverage.